Hello chemistry learners, welcome back to Organic Chemverse YouTube channel. In this video I am going to discuss the IUPAC nomenclature of some of the cyclohexene compounds. This video I am making because of a request from a student, so I hope it's useful for other students as well. Now, how to name halocyclohexene compounds? In cyclohexene molecules, the parent chain has 6 carbons and we have a double bond. We tend to number the cyclic molecule where there exists a double bond, regardless whether we move clockwise or anti-clockwise. So the first thing is write the parent chain and there is a double bond. Give the numbers to the carbon-carbon double bond regardless clockwise or anti-clockwise. Let's start with the halo compound where the halogen is chlorine. Now, the chlorine is present on this carbon, right? So we have to start numbering from that particular carbon. Therefore, we are moving here in anti-clockwise and that is okay. Right? So on the first position there is a chlorine. So how do you write the name? Between a number and letter there is a hyphen. Therefore 1-chloro and it is cyclohexene. Or simply you can write it as cyclohexene. Alright. Now let's change the position of the chlorine and see how to name the molecule. Now I am going to write the chlorine here. Although the chlorine is a functional group, right, we have a double bond which gets more priority. Therefore, you have to either start numbering from here, say 1, 2, 3, or you have to start numbering from here, 1, 2, 3. Which way are we going to choose here? We choose it from this direction so that the carbon which has chlorine on it will get the least possible number. Suppose if I have number from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 would be the number. 6 is greater than 3. Therefore, we are choosing the least possible number here and that is 3. Therefore, the name of the molecule is 3-chloro-cyclohexene or cyclohexene. Cyclohexene. Now, many students assume that what if I number from here 1, 2, so that I am numbering the double bond carbon also and the chlorine containing carbon also. No, that is forbidden because you have to number, as I told you in the first rule itself, you have to number both the double bond carbons first. Hence, you have to start like 1, 2, 3. This is the correct way of numbering it. Now, let's write a positional isomer of the same molecule. That means what? They have the same molecular formula. The position of the halogen is different, right? So let's see now. I can start numbering from here 1, 2, 3, 4. What if I start from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? That is not correct. We have to give the least possible number, right? Therefore, it is at the 4th position. Hence, 4-chloro-cyclohexene. Cyclohexene. This is the correct name of the molecule. Moving on. What if I write chlorine over here? No, that will be same as your 3, right? That's why, because look at this 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, it's a 4-chloro, right? So it's nothing but the same molecule. So you don't have to write here, all right? So now let's move on to the next molecule with dihalo. We can take a dihalo. All right. You can take the halo as chlorine, bromine, whatever, but let's take the same halogen. Then we can check with the different halogens. All right. So I'm going to take the chlorine here and chlorine here. So it's a symmetrical molecule. Whether you start from here or here won't make much difference, right? And it is 1, 2. Since there are 2 chlorine, you have to call it as dichloro cyclohexene. cyclohexene. Alright, between numbers you have to use the comma, between a number and letter hyphen. Therefore 1, 2 dichlorocyclohexene. This is the correct IUPAC name of the molecule. Now let's do a slight change in the structure of the molecule. What if I write chlorine here and here? Right, as I told you earlier, like in this rule, you start numbering from the carbon where there is a functional group. That is very clear here, right? Therefore, what will be the name of the molecule? 1, 3 dichlorocyclohexene. Cyclohexene. All right. So let's take one more interesting molecule, right? Like this. This is the most confusing molecule for many students. So let me clarify this, okay? You have to start numbering from the double bond carbon where there is a functional group. Therefore, you have to number it in this direction only. Why it is confusing among students is that it's not obeying the lowest sum rule. What it means? Look at this. The locants, the position of the carbons where the halogens are there, they are having 1 and 6 number. 1 plus 6 is equal to 7. If I would have number from here, so 1, 2, 3. At 2 and 3, the halogens would have been there. So which is 5. So according to lowest sum rule, this is a correct. But the lowest sum rule will not be obeyed here because the first rule says that start numbering from the carbon, the double bond carbons, if there is a functional group on it. Therefore, the right name of the molecule is 1, 6 dichlorocyclohexene. That will remain same. All of them are here dichlorocyclohexene itself. It's just that they differ in the position, right? So this is how you name the dihalo compounds with the same halogen, right? There are chlorine in it, right? Now what if I take two different halogens like bromine and chlorine? Then what? Then alphabetical priority. Bromine, the B of bromine comes first as compared to C of the chlorine. Therefore, you should start numbering like this. 1 bromo, 2 chloro, cyclohexene. Cyclohexene. This is the correct way of naming this molecule. What if I change the positions like this? Say, there is a chlorine here and then there is a bromine. Now which rule are we going to use? Where we give the priority to the carbon with the functional group. Therefore, you have to write bromine in the first no matter what, irrespective of the number here because of the alphabetical priority. Alright. Therefore, it will be 3 bromo, 1 chloro, cyclohexene. Students, remember all of them, the bromo and chloro will have the same name, bromochlorocyclohexene. It's just that they differ in the numbers and that is what is important here. Okay. Now let's take one more example. Alright. So I am having a double bond here. Alright. Now I'm going to take bromine here and then chlorine here, but I'm going to take one more group here, a methyl, an alkyl group. Then what we have to do? See, if there is no methyl, obviously the bromine, this will get priority. So I would number like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, because if you number this way also, you are going to get the same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the lowest sum rule will not be there. So you have to give priority to bromine. So 1, 2, 3. That would have been the numbering. But what if there is a methyl group? In that case, lowest sum rule is obeyed. That's the reason I am taking this example. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No methyl, then bromine gets priority. Because of the methyl, it's the lowest sum rule. Now what will be the name of the molecule? As usual, start with the bromine, therefore 6-bromo. Now, which will get priority according to alphabetical? It will be 3-chloro, and this is a methyl, therefore 4-methyl and cyclohexene. Cyclohexene. This is how you have to name a dihalocyclohexene molecules. If you have cyclopentene or cyclobutene, still the rules whatever we have discussed here, they hold good for those molecules as well. I hope you have understood this concept now, and if you still have any doubts, you can always ask your questions in the comment section. I'm going to help you with those questions. Thank you for watching this video.